Thank you everyone and welcome for this class dedicated to endometriosis because it is March Endometriosis Awareness Month, and for this reason I have decided to put this online educational class on and share some Ayurvedic approach and wisdom to this very, very severe condition. I don't know if you know about endometriosis. Is this something you are aware of? Is this maybe something you're suffering from? Is this something you came just because you're curious to learn about it? So I will start to just bring a bit awareness from a Western perspective, what endometriosis is. And then we dive into how Ayurveda explains the course, as much as there is a course, and treatment protocol, or how in Ayurveda or Ayurveda can support endometriosis. So on this point, I will just put a little disclaimer. So I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm sharing this out of my own studies and my own experience. And especially, this is really on my heart because more and more of my patients and clients, female clients, are coming, are suffering from endometriosis. And another crucial point why I got more interested in endometriosis or study and learn and understand about it is that a dear friend of mine really opened my eyes to endometriosis and what it means, because she is suffering from endometriosis for many, many years, stage 4 endometriosis, and just were undergoing hysterectomy. So she got her uterus completely removed, and she really shared, you know, from the deepest what it means to have endometriosis. And because more and more clients, female clients coming, so it's very, very important to be aware of this condition, specifically because many don't know. There's still something about endometriosis, excuse me, what? Yeah, attitude. So what is it? And even many, many women don't know about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's why I'm here to share. Let me just someone in. Yeah. That's why I thought putting an educational online class up is something very, very nice to do. Hello, Maria. Maria tunes in from the US, so she probably got up very early. So also this makes, I'm sure we all are Ayurveda familiar, one more than the other, but I know I have some Ayurvedic practitioners in here. Maria, I was just telling a little bit about why I'm doing this class in dedication of Endometriosis Awareness Month, and that I'm sharing this particular because I have more and more clients coming, suffering from endometriosis, and also a dear friend severely suffered from endometriosis, which really helped me to open my eyes and my curiosity towards that very, very severe condition. So endometriosis is a very complex and difficult condition, which is poorly seen and understood and rarely spoken about. And what it is with endometriosis is also that women are not really taken serious. So endometriosis is one of the 20 or top 20 most painful female condition. Yeah? And that's already quite a strong statement, I would say. And usually it takes 6 to 10 years to diagnose endometriosis. That means women suffer for many, many years from severe pain. And if you follow a few cases, women suffer from pain and going from doctor to doctor and all kinds of checkups, and they're not taking serious. They're saying, oh, you're probably depressed, or you have some mental condition, you're making this up. and you don't have anything, because they can't find anything, because it's still, even in this field, a very unknown disease or condition. So that's why, especially as here are some Ayurvedic practitioners in here, it's very important that we become aware of this condition, so we can also support other women in that. And back in the days, it was also not easy to diagnose endometriosis, but we will come to it, how we can diagnose endometriosis. So endometriosis is also a significant, or has a significant impact on your fertility. So many women who want to become pregnant can't because endometriosis, but it is not impossible, yeah, to fall pregnant even you have endometriosis if you treat the condition. But you have to be aware that endometriosis can become a chronic condition, which can start with the very first menstruation, but it can also come later. And the tricky thing with endometriosis is it's also called the disease of 100 faces. So this is not one set of symptoms or pathology in endometriosis. And we will speak about the symptoms, but it's not that always women only suffer when they have their menstruation. There are so many other symptoms, and there's no case than the other. And also the tricky part with endometriosis is not only that it's severely painful, but it can only also be found in almost all parts of the body. Yeah? And when we speak about endometriosis, there are stages of endometriosis. It goes from stage 1 to 4. Yeah? So, and even if they diagnosed you, or there is assumption that you have endometriosis, sometimes I had clients, when I asked them for the stage of the endometriosis, they had even no answer, or they didn't know. So not all doctors tell you what stage of endometriosis you are in. So I will share, I have a presentation, but I will just put it in few times, and I want to share something with you. Let's see if it's coming up. 1 second. So, share screen. I just want to bring this to, are you seeing it? No, now it's coming. Okay, perfect. Yeah, okay, thank you. So this is normally a chart I bring up in my women health classes, but I thought it's maybe quite interesting for you as well to see that. This particular data I have from India, but I want to just raise awareness to general female health problems. And when we see that, I mean, we have here 34 to 44% of women suffering from endometriosis, which are 10% according to the World Health Organization, and which makes it to 190 million women. Just imagine that. It's really a lot. And it's many women that even don't know that they have endometriosis. As I said, it's not easy to diagnose, and women tapping in the dark for a long time, not being heard, not being seen, not taken serious with their severe pain. They're sometimes dealing with daily. But in general, we have here 77% of teenage girls already suffer with menstrual problems, which I find very severe and shocking, and a lot. PCOD is polycystic ovary syndrome coming up more and more as well, with almost 23%. Women suffering from infertility, which can also be the reason of PCOD or endometriosis, or not treated menstrual problems, 30%, and painful menses, dysmenorrhea, 67% of women. So many women suffering from severe female health problems. And yeah, I just want to bring this to your awareness. There's a lot we can help also as Ayurvedic practitioner. This is just, most of you know me. So I'm Nancy, I'm an Ayurveda practitioner and educator. The last 3-4 years, my heart really goes in also to female disorders, specific Ayurveda for women health. I'm a yoga teacher. I have here my own place on Koh Phangan, where I'm from. I'm from Thailand, live on a little island in Koh Phangan, and my place called AyuForLife. And yeah, I'm an island and nature lover and a dog mom, and consider myself as a full-time unshakable optimist, and definitely yeah, an Ayurveda lover. I love this wonderful science. And there we're coming to what is Ayurveda. I think we can go quite quickly over this because most of you know Ayurveda. I put here a little bit different definition than we usually know about Ayurveda. You know, Ayu means life, Veda means knowledge. So Ayurveda is the science of knowledge. It's the science of lifespan. It's the way of living. It's the most oldest, holistic, sophisticated medical system in the world. It dates back more than 5,000 years of amazing ancient wisdom and knowledge, which helps mankind to live more healthy and more happy. And this is what Ayurveda is. We living and helping to bring our life back into balance. And simply, balance means health in Ayurveda, and imbalance means illness or disease. And the word disease already says it. Something is out of disease. And with Ayurveda, we're learning more about ourselves and totality and how we can make more healthy choices to stay in balance. So stay healthy. But also here, I like this definition, which brings Ayurveda more into female and women health, because Ayurveda in nature is very feminine, and feminine in all aspects and manners of treatments and therapies and approach. And in Ayurveda, or Ayurveda themselves, with the knowledge and the wisdom, never seeks any harm or want to invade anyone. Rather, we seek harmony and peace by understanding our 3 great principles of nature, which is life, light, and love, which we are expressing and understanding through the Pancha Mahabhutas, the 5 elements, and the 3 doshas, which are Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And these representing movement, transformation, and cohesion, which Vata is the principle and the function of movement and transportation, one of the most important doshas and functions. If there's nothing moving anymore, it's done, we are finished. Or if there's too much movement, it creates problems, or too less. So we always have to look at this also in endometriosis. Transformation is Pitta dosha, is our digestion, is our Agni. How do we transform things, one matter to another? And then the principle of Kapha, which is cohesion or growth and repair, as the main function. These functions are necessary to exist and very important to understand and keep in balance. Yeah. As a reflection of the Divine Mother, Ayurvedic medicine cares and nourishes without any judgment or opinion, using the strict discipline of the loving mother to correct bad habits and teach habits that are in harmony with the greater workings of the universe. Ayurveda will teach us peace and how to live in harmony with ourselves and others. Ayurveda is a holistic and preventative approach to health and wellness. Ayurveda empowers women to be attuned to their bodies and health. And I think this is a very wonderful approach we have with Ayurveda. And also important to understand, Ayurveda is a preventative lifestyle, but also Ayurveda is a medicine and understands every single disease on this earth. So just quickly, this is the language of Ayurveda. To understand Ayurveda, we need to learn and understand the Pancha Mahabhutas, which are the 5 elements: ether, air, fire, water, and earth. We have the doshas, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and we are speaking in qualities in Ayurveda to really understand this wonderful science, which we call the Guru Vadi Gunas, which are 10 gunas, 10 qualities and properties, and the opposite, which are like, to give you an example, we are considering consuming something which has either a heating effect on the body or a cooling effect. I consume something which either makes me dry or makes me very oily. I consume something which has the effect on the body of lightness or heaviness, just to give you an example. So we won't dive deeper into that because we really want to focus on endometriosis, and along the way, if there's anything unclear, I will explain more. And thank you, Maria. So what is endometriosis? So let's bring that to our awareness first to understand that from a Western perspective. So endometriosis is or becomes a chronic disease where the tissue similar to the lining in or of the uterus, which we know as the endometrium, which usually breaks down when we menstruate. Yeah, this is the endometrium in the uterus, which grows towards menstruation, which creates the bed of the baby through rising progesterone. Yeah, so this is the bed of the baby, the endometrium. And this lining of the endometrium inside, you can see inside here. Can you see my cursor? Oops, I went too fast. Here inside, yeah, this is the endometrium. So, and this lining starts to grow outside of the uterus, and this becomes a severe problem. Yeah. So I like simplicity. And maybe we are all not having maybe some listening later a medical background. So for me, it's always I try to understand it from this very simple mind, as most of our clients or patients coming from to us have this mind. So it's really, imagine something starts to release from something where it actually belongs to and starts to travel outside and gets comfortable on something where it doesn't belong. Yeah, and the cells, the endometrium lining cells outside of the uterus start behaving the same as inside of the uterus, and this becomes a problem because they're going through menstruation the same way as there would be in the uterus, and they start to grow, they start to bleed, which then creates inflammation. Yeah, so this can be found in the fallopian tubes, ovaries, which is also known as chocolate cyst. Maybe you have heard of that. The uterine ligaments. This is also goes into the bladder. I have seen this with my friend. This is very severe. Other pelvic organs, the vagina, the bowel, the rectum, intestine, the bladder, perineum, and so on and so on. And in rare cases, it really travels and spreads also in other parts of the body. And this becomes very severe, even in the brain, in the lungs, in the eyes, in the skin, and in the nasal passage. And my dear, or our dear teacher, Dr. Arun Sharma, even shared with us in our training in the chapter of endometriosis. He had a patient, she got constantly nose bleeding, and until they understood that the nose bleeding actually not came from high blood pressure, it came from endometriosis. Yeah, so you see, it's a very unpredictable disease and can spread really far and create a lot of problems. Symptoms we are seeing with women with endometriosis is pelvic pain, severe pelvic pain, either just during menstruation or even outside of menstruation, headaches, inflammation, heavy bleeding, pain during sexual activity, doing intercourse, pain and urination, infertility, and chronic constipation. So indigestion is a very common symptom of endometriosis. But also, see, when you look at the symptoms, these symptoms, you know, we see in many other conditions or diseases. So it's not easy to say, she has pelvic pain, of course she has endometriosis. No, we cannot go with this. So this is our very common symptoms in many, many other conditions. So that's why it makes it not very, very clear that we have a patient with endometriosis, or that also from the other side, that when you have these symptoms, it doesn't always mean that you have endometriosis. Yeah, so please don't panic also seeing all the symptoms. Yeah, they can also come from something else. So according to Western medicine, the cause is unknown. We don't know why endometriosis lesions are created, why that happened to a certain woman. This is the Western aspect I'm speaking about. Yeah, and here you see, I already spoke about it, how to diagnose. So diagnose often takes 6 to 10 years, which is a long, long time. Yeah, if you look at this, and it not really is clearly seen through ultrasound. Usually, to really get a clear answer, if you have endometriosis, you have to do surgery. Yeah. Laparoscopy, I can't say the word, it's always a bit difficult for me. But it has to be a little surgery a woman has to undergo to really get a clear answer. MRI is possible, there is a certain blood test, but best to be clear is to do the surgery, or maybe even confirm it with the blood test as well. So what they do in Western management, how is endometriosis? So they're saying there is no real cure for endometriosis. And also, I'm not here to promise you any cure with Ayurveda. This is also very important. They're saying it's only manageable. Often hormone therapy is used with extra progesterone, or to stop bleeding, so that women are not undergoing severe menstrual pain. But we have to see that might be a solution. And for some women, they're in severe pain. I'm not against that. That might be a solution for a time to really get them out of pain and give them a breather, yeah, to release them. But we are coming here with a different view. We are Ayurvedis. We are interested in the cause and going into addressing the underlying cause, because stop bleeding is not really resolving anything. Yeah? So if the woman not understands what creates endometriosis and just stops the bleeding, this condition goes on, yeah, and becomes more and more severe. Of course, in certain ways, there is surgery recommended, yeah, hysterectomy, so removing the endometrial tissues. And what is happening, and this makes this very difficult as well, through the continuous growth and inflammatory reaction of endometriosis, a lot of scar tissue is produced. And I have heard this firsthand, that, or maybe you have also dealt with endometriosis clients or yourself, sometimes it's so glued, the abdominal, it's even difficult for the doctors to enter through the to the belly, because everything is so glued, yeah, and that makes it very, very difficult. So yeah, first can be to remove the endometrial tissues, so still keeping the uterus. But what often happens, because the underlying cause is not addressed, I stop mine for a moment, the underlying cause is not addressed, that it comes back. Yeah, and I have seen this and followed that, reading that women reporting about this, they're undergoing this surgery with big hope that they will be released and relieved from it, but then it comes back. Yes, of course, because they're still living the same lifestyle and might have not investigated why this growth is happening. And therefore, an Ayurvedic perspective and approach comes in a very, very helpful guidance. Yeah. So it is necessary to look at this. So, and then if really doesn't anything help anymore, the uterus gets removed. And also, women going in menopause, it's sad that this also resolves because the estrogen is going down when they're going in menopause. Yeah, it's a very estrogen rising, or a sad, estrogen is the main thing because there's too much estrogen in the body. So, and often when they stop bleeding, or sometimes they're also inducing early menopause to help with endometriosis. So this is the Western management, okay? And now let's look at the Ayurvedic one, which I like much more. Any questions so far, or any thoughts on that, or shares? Share my screen again. So let's look at the Ayurvedic understanding of endometriosis. So first, what says Ayurveda to a possible course of endometriosis? So something we speak in Ayurveda a lot about is urges. Charaka, the father of Ayurveda, speaks about 13 urges in Ayurveda, which we should not suppress. I will not tell you all the 13 urges, but there is like something very precise, is that we might not going to toilet when the body tells us to go to toilet. Yeah, and I give an example here. Very often we might have jobs and sitting in offices, or where we not have the opportunity to immediately go if we want to release. Yeah, so suppressing the urge of urination or bowel movement. Yeah, or another urge is to burp or to fart or to sneeze or anything. This is all, or to yawn or to cry. All of that are urges described in Ayurveda, which really should be released. And if you have been in India, you know that the Indians are very open to release urges. So if you have a problem, because in our Western world, it's like it's an etiquette, you know, not to do it. So it's not respected, you know, to sneeze or to burp or whatever. So if you want to practice this, just travel to India. You can learn it there to really release your urges. But yes, not suppressing the urges is one possible course. A lot of traveling and not having a proper routine, a specific, not a proper eating, a regular eating routine. So what we are speaking about this courses here, or eating too many salads or astringent food, which is dry food, cold food, difficult to digest food, all of this leads to vata aggravation. Yeah, vata is the function of movement and transportation of knowledge, and vata is considered the main influence in endometriosis. Also, a possible course can be that women not following a proper menstrual routine, and most women don't do, because no one taught us this, to follow a proper routine. Yeah, and it's specifically to rest, or follow menstrual leave. We in this Western world, we are just pushed to work, to just pop a tampon in and go ahead, and not really tuning into the body and noticing that the body, while we are bleeding, really need to relax and to rest. And especially the Indian culture back in the days, were giving wonderful rituals for that, which might be looked at and smiled at in our century and life today, to go into pulling it back, withdrawing, not being in a household, not touching certain foods, not entering any specific buildings, not showering, not doing oil massages and things like that. It's like a little bit like they're thinking, what is that? Why we should not do that while we menstruate? You know, we are not impure. No, we are very pure when we menstruate, and the body needs rest. And not following a proper menstrual routine really causes a lot of female disorders, and specifically vata aggravation, because menstruation is influenced by vata and pitta. So now we're getting a little bit more Ayurvedic language. So try to follow me. And so what does Ayurveda, how does Ayurveda explain endometriosis? So in Ayurveda, we speak about 7 dhatus, 7 tissues, which are rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asti, majja, shukra. Yeah? And the main 2 dhatus involved in endometriosis or imbalanced are rasa and the rakta, which is the plasma or the lymph tissues and the blood. Yeah? And 𝗪𝗪 is the menstrual blood, which is a product of rasa dhatu. Yeah, and Ayurveda explains that in endometriosis, the menstrual blood in rasa dhatu or rasa dhatu has ama, yeah, toxins in the blood. So ama are undigested waste products or toxins. So we all consuming ama. We all have ama or toxins in the body. They're coming and they're going. So if our digestive fire or agni, our metabolism works well, we're just taking some ama in through tap water or, you know, wrong food combination or some bad foods we sometimes eat or pollution or something like that. And if the system works well, okay, we digest it and we're eliminating it out through the 3 mala, sweat, urine, or stool. But if our agni doesn't work well and there's an over-accumulation of ama, then it becomes a problem. In endometriosis, ama is found in the rasa and the rakta dhatu, yeah, in the blood. So, and I describe it here, it's a metabolic disorder and can result in excess estrogen, which is often due improper liver function. Yeah, so there's a over accumulation of produce of estrogen in the body of patients of endometriosis, and that's why also I would speak about this in the management of Ayurveda. A liver cleanse is very, very effective for endometriosis patient. Yeah, not one liver cleanse, you have to repeat that, but liver cleanse comes really into play in an Ayurvedic treatment protocol for endometriosis. So ama and rasa and rakta means 𝗪𝗪 will also have toxins. Women with endometriosis have more ama in the body than maybe women without endometriosis. Yeah, we have to be aware of that. I hope you can still follow me. So this is a very complex pathology, and mostly we speak about vata aggravation in endometriosis, but endometriosis has all doshas involved. Yeah, there is vata, there is pitta, and there's kapha. There is vata involved because vata flows in the wrong direction. Yeah, so so we speak about there are certain sub-doshas of vata. Predominantly here involved is Vyana Vayu and Apana Vayu. Yeah, Vana Vayu works in the whole entire body. Okay, and Apana Vayu is the downward movement, which is, for example, the menstrual blood. Yeah, so Apana Vayu is the one who helps us in menstruation, and Apana Vayu needs to flow downward. Okay, that's why, for example, we always in yoga classes, as we are teachers, or when we are teachers, or the teacher should, make us aware when we are menstruating not to go in inversion, because that would change the downward movement of Apana Vayu. And we want to keep Vata flowing in the right direction and want to nurture Vata while we are bleeding. But in endometriosis, As the cells, the endometrium lining starts to grow outside, it also grows, it moves upwards. So endometriosis is actually a gravity disease. Yeah, it flows into the wrong direction. It goes upward, not downward. We don't eliminating the toxins out. We bringing the toxins back into the body. And this is the crucial thing here. But also we have a distraction or obstruction in Vajana Vayu. There is something with blocking the channels or the srotas, and this obstruction is called Avana. And it's very important to remove that Avana to create the right flow again and to bring Apana Vayu back downward. Yeah. It's maybe quite complex and you don't have to understand this all. I will give more clarity in the treatment protocol. And obviously, if you are not a practitioner, it's always good to talk with a practitioner. And that's why we are going to an Ayurvedic clinic or finding an Vaidya or practitioner to help us with this. But I just want to explain it a bit more in the Ayurvedic language. Yeah? So, and here we come, Chikitsa of endometriosis. Chikitsa means treatment, how we can treat endometriosis in Ayurveda. What is the Ayurvedic management? Again, here's some Ayurvedic terminology. So first, so these are the four main things we have to follow, or every Ayurvedic practitioner has to guide their patients through that. First, we have to do Amapachana. What is Amapachana? Amapachana is to help to bring the digestive fire, enhance the digestive fire, yeah, to eliminate the toxins out of the body. How can we do this? We can do this with certain remedies or medicines. And something very, very simple we can do is dry ginger. Yeah, dry ginger powder helps us to ignite Agni and helps us to eliminate these toxins. There are more of this. We call it Shunti. Yeah, another one could be Haritaki. Yeah, just to throw in a few Ayurvedic herbs, which can help us with that. There are stronger herbs, but they should be described by an Ayurvedic practitioner or doctor. So we have to break down this Avana, this obstruction, which disturbs Vajana Vayu to flow freely and kind of blocks the srotas, the channels. Yeah. And there are actually, if I'm not wrong, in Ayurveda, described by Charaka, 42 Avanas, obstructions, yeah, Vata obstructions we have to study. So it's quite, again, complex, because for every endometrium patient, endometriosis patients, or endo, let's call it this, endo patient, could be a different Avana, a different obstruction. Yeah, that's why we always have to be very, very aware and see in which condition, in which state is the patient coming, what constitution prakriti has the patient, and also what is predominantly, yeah, is the lady has more pitta, more inflammation, more kapha, more growth, more accumulation. Yeah, it's there more vata. It could be very, very different from patient to patient, because some endo clients, they might don't have so much inflammation, yeah, or not so severely. Yeah? So we have to look what is more dominant in each of the patient. And as you know, Ayurveda is very unique and individual, and this is how we also have to approach endometriosis. We have to do Vata Anuloman. What is that? So as I just explained, Vata is flowing in the wrong direction. Vata is going upwards, and we have to bring Vata back down. There's a wonderful, wonderful remedy. I swear on it, because my Vata is also flowing upwards quite often. Dhanvantram Gulika. Yeah? If you have this, if you burp a lot, if you have a lot of air in the body or indigestion, Dhanvantram Gulika, it comes on the next page. You will see how to write it. It's a very, very good medicine, not only for endometriosis, but Dhanvantram Gulika is Anuloman. Anuloman means we're bringing the direction, correcting the direction. And also, of course, if there's severe inflammation, severe pain, we have to look at pitta. We have to reduce pitta, implementing an anti-pitta diet and relieving the symptoms with pitta balancing remedies, which often have a cooling quality or property. So a little bit more to where we have to start with endometriosis, and this is really where any endo client listening here, you can start with already on your own. Very, very important in this condition, and not only in endometriosis, as you know, it's really to create a proper healthy routine, which we call dinacharya. Yeah, we have to have a good foundation to treat ourselves. It's simply self-care. It's keeping the body in check and in balance as much as possible. Good sleep regime is very important. If you are someone going to bed very, very late, getting up very, very late, this will not help your healing process. This is accumulating vata if we're going late to bed, and if we're going late up, this will accumulate kapha, which is not supportive for endometriosis at all. Yeah, regulating our eating routine, because insulin resistance is a big topic here as well. In endometriosis, we have to keep that in check. Yeah? Avoiding kapha increasing foods like wheat, gluten, sugar, dairy, cheese, yogurt, all of this stuff. Avoiding estrogen increasing products. I will have another slide for that to raise awareness what actually all has estrogen. I find this quite shocking, to be honest. Keeping our bowels moving. Yeah, you saw like one of the severe symptoms is constipation, and constipation is blocking. Yeah, again, we don't want to block. We want to keep things flowing as much as we can. So we need to be really aware of keeping regular elimination. Also, big factor in endometriosis is your mental well-being. Yeah, so implementing a meditation practice, regular meditation, whatever it needs to keep you mentally balanced is very, very important, because endometriosis can really play with your mental health. Yeah, depression, anxiety, all this is very much found in endo clients. Live accordingly to your dosha, so really learn your dosha. This really helps. Follow a menstrual routine and practice menstrual leave. Oh, there should be no question mark. So practice rest. And also what is very, very beneficial is seasonal detox, especially now in the US, but also in Germany, in Malta and Spain. We're going into spring season, yeah, to go in this transition and cleanse the body. Also helps overall our immunity, which is very important in endometriosis, as the immune system is attacked. So seasonal detox is very, very helpful. Here are some more remedies to what I already mentioned. To ignite acne or digestive fire, we can help with a simple tea we're calling CCF coriander, cumin, fennel tea, which is very, very simple to make. You take the seeds, throw them in the water, boil them, cook them, simmer them down, cool them down, strain them, fill them into a thermo bottle and zip it throughout the day, which will really, really help to ignite your fire. Yeah, for most of us, actually nowadays, our acne is low, our digestive system is low, digestive system metabolism is low. So this could be a very, very good tea. Also now in the transition into spring, we have to ignite acne. So make yourself a CCF tea. It's quite delicious. For the pain, we can use castor oil packs. Yeah, take a cotton, a wool cotton, warm up some castor oil, put the wool cotton on your lower abdominal and then put the warm castor oil over it. It's very, very soothing. You might know castor oil also for liver. We can also support the liver function with this, with castor oil packs. But also in endometriosis, there is a protocol of taking castor oil internally, but speak about with your Ayurvedic practitioner how to do that, yeah, and when to do that in your cycle. It's also very important, but castor oil goes very into the subtle level of the body, and it's very, very beneficial in endometriosis. Another herb is haritaki, which helps to do amapachana, release the toxin. Shunti, which is dry ginger powder. Ajwain is a seed as well, which helps us or can make as a tea. Triphala is a very, very common Ayurvedic herb. And here we have the mantram gulika, which I mentioned for vata analum. So, and also indigestion, yeah, helps us with bloating and farting and burping, just bringing vata into the right direction. So the real Ayurvedic treatment, the best you can do for yourself if you suffer from endometriosis is a panchakarma. Panchakarma is the Ayurvedic detox. Pancha means 5, karma means therapies. And there are certain therapies, which is Vamana, can be done, but these therapies, these are Vamana, Virechana, and Vasti, are Panchakarma therapies. Not all of them are always done. It depends on what is most aggravated, and of course also what time you're coming with, what is your constitution. If you have time, it can happen that all of the therapies are done, but sometimes only one of these are done on you. Vamana is infused vomiting. Virechana is infused diarrhea, which is also a liver cleanse in Ayurveda. Yeah, there's another liver cleanse protocol you can do even on yourself. You don't have to go in an Ayurvedic clinic, which is either drinking, either with castor oil can be done, or with olive oil and lemon is another protocol for liver cleanse, or Vasti are oil enemas. I actually forgot something which called Urubasti. No. What is the name for it? Is it Urubasti? No, it's another name. Actually, it's medicated oil is injected into the uterus. Yeah, I just received that in, I forgot the Sanskrit name of it. It will come maybe. I got it done on me last year in November, which is a very, very good treatment for endometriosis as well. So, but again, it's very, very crucial, written here again, that we look at the unique and individual constitution, focusing really on what is mostly aggravated and looking at the property of the client and addressing, of course, the vata imbalance, because vata is the main dosha here in play of endometriosis. This is just, I want to put that out here. Estrogen rising products in our everyday life. 𝗔𝗶𝗿, exactly. That's the Sarah, thank you. 𝗔𝗶𝗿 is the one where we get medicated oil injected into your uterus, which can only be done after your menstruation when the cervix is opened, yeah, and the menstruation has completely stopped. So estrogen rising products are soya products, meat, dairy, wheat, alcohol, non-organic products, plastic water bottles, flax seeds. I was surprised about that. Sugar, of course, processed foods, ligaments, specifically here chickpeas and black beans, tap water, and I can even pronounce this word, petalatas. Yeah, and also, for example, Teflon pans, they also increase estrogen. So women particular with endometriosis need to become aware of that and eliminate these estrogen rising products more and more out of their life to support the healing process. Okay, I just want to bring, we're almost closing here. We're coming to an end. I thought this would be nice to include. Success story, let me see. Okay, Maria, I will read in a moment. I want to bring this in, the 𝗔𝗯𝗂𝗏 Paricharya. This is called the menstrual routine in Ayurveda. Just want to bring this in for awareness for all of you, either suffering from endometriosis or not. It's important for all of us women. As I said, you know, unfortunately in our Western world, it's always work, 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 doing. Women are not really seen as there is something that they need rest during the menstruation, but there's something new. I always talk about Spain as an example country because they have the opportunity or a possibility to take menstrual leave, but also France new. They also announced now that women are able to take menstrual leave. So we're coming into the right direction with all of this. Yeah, and claim it, women all out there, claim your menstrual leave for yourself. It starts with you. Yeah, it not starts with your employee, it starts with you asking for that. And if this is not possible, of course, if you have a workplace where this is not accepted, at least Taiwan as well, as yes, all the Asian countries are very forward with this. But at least if you can't take menstrual leave, I always get to use, yeah, but I cannot stop working. Yes, I understand you, I hear you, but at least slow down. So don't make any appointments with friends or dinner dates or go out or party or anything. Go to work, slow down, let your colleagues know that you're menstruating and you have less energy and less, just less brain capacity as well. And inform your family, inform your boyfriend, your husband, and just really take the rest after work. Yeah, it's very, very important that we more and more communicate that. So do's during menstruation, celibacy. So and stay away from any sexual contact, take alone time, look at your diet. Yeah, vata needs to be nourished and nurtured. So warm food, easy to digest food, more lectin food, which means scraping food, very good barley, khichdi, rice soup, a simple vegetable soup. Yeah, something easy, warming, nurturing. Take menstrual leave and rest and relax as much as you can. What should be not done during menstruation? Sex, intercourse, any kind of treatments, massage or touch, especially treatments, massage, oil massage, it's clogging the scrota. We don't want that. We should stay away from any kind of junk food. There's no excuse. I'm menstruating and I can eat what I want. Acne is low. Acne is busy with your menstruation. So keep acne happy, keep your vata happy, keep your vata warm. No high intensity training, no gym. Walking or light yoga or movement is important, especially if you have pain, which releases the pain, but you should not lift the weights while you're menstruating. Also, no arguments. Really, it's not the time for any finding solution or getting a solution for whatever problem you have in your family or with your boyfriend. It's not the time. And no water on the head, no showering, which is considered stopping the menstruation. So now we're coming to an end. Thank you for listening. I don't want to make this as any selling anything, but I just want to make you aware I'm working on my Ayurveda for Women Health 12-week online course, which I'm hoping to release in October, November. And if you curious about it and want to join the waiting list, I would just put the link in the chat box. And stop and opening the chat or the space for any sharings or questions. I would just see there came some messages in. Where do I see the messages here? I have to see. Let me see. Have you seen the success story with the improving endo after applying Ayurvedic treatments protocols? Yes, I have seen that. Yeah, I have seen that from also listening to other Ayurvedic doctors, and it's actually seen. So it's very, very important that we're not going out and saying Ayurveda is the only way to, or is the way to heal endo. We have to be very, very careful with this. And every woman has to decide for themselves which way they are going. But what we are saying in Ayurveda is, when they're coming to us, try at least a 3 months Ayurvedic protocol, really implementing the Ayurvedic suggestions and follow an Ayurvedic lifestyle consistently for 3 months and see if you have any improvement before you might decide to take the uterus out. Yeah. So my doctor is always saying, okay, before we take any organ out of the body, let's see what else is possible. Yeah. But for this, you need to be willing. There need to be a commitment of 3 months, really following this protocol. And also, wait, there's something else, educating our young people about this huge, so we can make it normal and accept to take a break. Yes. And you know, I always like to tell the story of my Bhagavad Gita teacher, and she said, you know how I did it when my boys were young? I always told them, mommy is bleeding, mommy needs a rest during this time. So it's very important that we openly, as women, communicating with our surrounding, it's our boyfriend, our husband, our family, our kids. What is the state of women when we are bleeding? Yeah, we don't have to hide it. And so it becomes more acceptable. But I see a great improvement in that. In my last class, talking about Ayurveda for women health, I had a 13-year-old girl. I don't know, Gabriella, I think you were in as well. And it was really nice. I talked to her afterwards because she didn't want to come in front of the camera. And I asked her for how they dealing with and how they communicated. And she said, no, we speak really openly. We say it. I'm bleeding. I have my menstruation. So there is some improvement coming. But yeah, it's very important to more and more educate our youngsters. Definitely. And I also want to bring something up like this. If you're interested in this, if you're an Ayurvedic practitioner or yourself suffering from endo, this is a very nice book I'm reading. I'm still not finished. It's called Heal Endo. And it's very nicely written, very written in detail. Yeah. That's why I can't read it too fast because it's very medical as well, very detailed. So it's very good book if you're interested in this. So ladies, I don't want to keep you away too much, but I want to still see if there's any questions or any sharings to this topic. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely Sunday and see you next time.